In the previous video, we had discussed about if a compound consists of one functional group, how do we name them? In this video, we are going to be talking about a compound that has a functional group, a multiple bond, and substituents. So how do we give, or substituents, better than that, I would like to say, call it a side chain rather. So what would we do if a compound has a functional group, a multiple bond, as well as a side chain? So first of all, the order of priority is going to be the functional group has more priority obviously than the second is going to be a double bond. Because between, if you remember, when we talked about double and triple bonds, double bond is going to get the lesser number than a triple bond. So a double bond, then we'll be having a triple bond, and then the side chain. So here we have two examples or two compounds which have a double bond as well as a functional group. Now here, let's start with the first one. This is the functional group. It's an aldehyde. So its suffix is going to be Al. Now, because it has a double bond, it is going to have both a secondary suffix as well as a primary suffix. So the double bond indicates its suffix is going to be "-ine". If you remember, we discussed about a primary and a secondary suffix. So the primary suffix is going to give us the information of the presence of double or triple bonds, whereas the secondary suffix is going to be talking about the functional group. So aldehyde Al, double bond "-ine". Now we need to first count the number of carbon atoms to figure out what the root is going to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, which means it's a 5 carbon chain, and its word root is Pent. Pent. Next, we need to number it, and numbering is going to be based on this. Functional group has the least number or more priority, the double bond, then the triple bond, and then the side chain. So from left to right, the double bond's position is at the second position and the functional group is at 5th position. Next, when we go from right to left, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So our functional group is in the first position and the double bond is at the third position. If you remember, when we learnt about double bonds is denoted by the previous carbon atom. So between 4 and 3 is denoted by 3, between 2 and 3 is denoted by 2. So here it's obvious that this is wrong and this is what will be considered. So we have the aldehyde at the first position, the double bond at the third position. So from this we can know that the name of the compound is going to be Pent-3-ene, because at the third position you have a double bond, and 1-al, because at the first position you have an aldehyde group. Now let's again do the other example that we have over here. Here this is a ketone. So if it's a ketone, its suffix is going to be -one. Now the position, obviously at this point I think it's pretty clear from right to left. If we number it, it's going to be at position number 2. So it is at the second position, and the double bond, which is denoted as -ene, is present in the 4th position. The carbon chain is 5 carbon atoms long, so its word root is going to be pent. Now we have to write the name of the compound, which is Pent 4-ene 2-one. So here you have both the primary as well as the secondary suffix given. And if there was branching in the carbon chain, suppose assume there was a CH3 over here, a methyl group, then we'd write 4-methyl pent 4-ene 2-one. So Those are the rules which we follow when you have a compound which has a functional group, a multiple bond, as well as a side chain. In the next video, we'll be discussing about compounds which have 2 or more functional groups. So do check it out.